All right, hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the Lord's elect. And this is the brother Yeshaya, part of Men of Valor, South Carolina. And this lesson is going to be about basically a lamb back on the elder brother right here, Biblical Defenders. And it's about budgeting and spending money. You know, as you see, his title is right here, but it's a well-needed topic, well-needed lesson that needs to be done because, like the elder was saying in the vid, I implore all brothers to watch. I watched the whole thing, but it's at this middle point. But nonetheless, it's a very important lesson that all brothers need to hear, especially younger brothers coming in this truth. Now, when you first come into this truth, you like to attribute, your downfalls and everything like that towards the truth, and that of course we go through things. All right, the scriptures say when thou comes to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. So of course things are gonna arise in your life that you're gonna be down for maybe a couple weeks, couple months, maybe a couple years, man. But the thing is to not totally give up and say, you know what, I'm just going to be down in a so-called lower state for, my duration in this truth, because you're actually making your plight, in this truth harder, when you do that. So it's very easy to, say, well, I'm just not going to do this or I'm not going to do that and attribute it to, suffering in the truth, which is not right. And you're basically heaping on troubles on yourself. Okay. And this elder went into, beautiful topics and beautiful scriptures about, money, saving your money, you know what I'm saying, and being frugal and being smart with your money, man. If you have an apartment, you got to have a place, a roof over your head. You got to have a car. You got to have certain things to maneuver in this world, man. You can't just go into the woods like John the Baptist did, and laughing but very serious. But you can't do anything like that. None of us can go into the woods, especially if you have kids and obligations. You need to do what you got to do, man. Okay, so without further ado, man, I got some scriptures, and I'm gonna start out with one that he brought up. This is yeah, 1 Timothy 3:5. I'm starting at 4. One that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. So you have to, this is going into being a bishop. Okay, you should desire to be a bishop in this truth. Okay, and this chapter lays out, what qualifications you need to actually have and to adapt to be a bishop. But I'm going to focus in on this one that ruleth his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. So you have to have control over your kids. You have to discipline them. All right. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah? So there you go. And then that also goes into, taking care of your house, man. Being able to, I'm not saying all brothers are able to pay 100% bills in your house. Okay. But if you're able to, if you have a wife or whatever your situation is set up, be able to contribute and be able to, make out some type of agreement to where, y'all are acting as a team or whatnot. And I mean, however you need to get it done, man. We in Babylon the Great, of course, this is not the end of our bill, but you still need to be able to have somewhat of your own, and of course, like, I said going into it, it's going to be times where you're down, but sometimes the reason why we're down and out is our own selves and not this truth. It's too easy to attribute it to the truth, but if you don't go to work or if you don't do this or do that, hey, man, you really just put yourself in that own situation, not Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. All right. 1 Timothy 5:8. Yeah. But if any provide not for his own, actually, I don't think he brought out that one, but this is the one he brought out. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his house, he have denied the faith and is worse than the infidel. So if you can't provide for your own, just you got to at least be able to provide for your own. But then if you have a household, okay, and you're not able to do that, man, hey, you denied the faith, and hey, you worse than the infidel. That's one that doesn't have any faith, man. Okay, that's the unbeliever. Okay, so man, you got to do things on this side that will ultimately make your life in the truth easier, because we're men as well, and we have obligations. So it's too easy just to be like, you know what, I'm gonna just not do this or do that, and then hey, brothers ain't supposed to be up. Man, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua bless you. Yahweh Shem Yahushua will make sure that you're doing what you got to do until we get up out of here, man. What you think the apostles and the elders do? For last time I checked, I think Apostle Hart was working. He probably isn't now. He doesn't need to work, but he's been on record saying he does Uber. He says he takes care of his bills. Okay, and that's the top man in Yasharala, man. That's the top man in Yasharala. And every other brother, brothers got careers, brothers got things going for themselves, man, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, as long as you put this work first, and you are productive in the work, man. That other shit, it's it comes last. But if you can get a nice car, that's cool. If you can, like the elder was talking about. But it's not supposed to be a focus, and I don't want to draw the focus away from just being able to provide and do what you need to do and sustain yourself, man, and not to be a burden on others. All right, because, and this is not to a specific brother, but man, this is just on my spirit after watching that video, and just for younger brothers, because I was in that situation myself, where I was down and out. I came in the truth down and out, so I was like, okay, well, shit, I started from the bottom, and gradually, the Lord blessed me and set me up in certain situations. But in certain cases, I'd be like, you know what, I'll take this little minimum wage job. I ain't got nothing else. But then you gotta just, I could have easily been complacent and say, I'm gonna stop right there. But Lord had it where I kept increasingly getting better jobs, and being able to provide for myself, man, and be able to get from the situation that I was in to ultimately having my own, and that's what it's about, man. It's not about, especially if you're dependent on someone in the world, man. You don't want to do that, because then they're going to use the truth to try to kick you out, or, do something evil to you, man. So it's best to just be on your own, especially, and provide for your own, so that way no one can be like, well, won't shame the ministry, so to say, man. But anyway, Ecclesiastes 7:12, for wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. So there you go. Wisdom is a defense, and also money is a defense, man. All right, you be able to look out for brothers, be able to pay your tithes on time. And paying tithes is a important thing too, because you never know what you need to, what may happen, and you may need to reach out to the church to tap into whatever funds that the church has to get by. But if you haven't been contributing, you're basically just taking money from the church without you didn't even put anything in it, man. So paying tithes is good, and also having enough to be able to look out for brothers personally. So yeah. And then let's see, I got Sirach 40:28, because you don't want to be and like a point that the elder brought out, you don't want to get into a certain situation and then have it to where you always gonna have brothers to try to bail you out, because brothers got their own things going on, and it might come a time, it'll be a wrong time of the month, and then you ain't got it. Like an example, I ain't gonna say his name, but a person that that I knew, he was in the truth, but he wasn't living right, man, and was somewhat falling in the category of what I'm talking about right now, and just said fuck it. But then he needed something, and then it was like the wrong time of the month, and no brothers had pretty much anything to contribute to him because it was the wrong time of the month. And sometimes you won't have things that way because brothers got families, brothers got obligations, and you're not gonna always have brothers there to bail you out. So you need to do what you need to do to avoid that situation if at all possible. Sirach 40:28, my son, lead not a beggar's life, for better it is to die than to beg. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life. So there you go. And as a man, you shouldn't even feel comfortable asking, brothers all the time. There's certain brothers that come in and just think that, brothers are ATMs, and that's not how it is, man. Not to be counted for a life, but he polluted himself with other men's meat. But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof. Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless, but in the belly there shall burn a fire. So there you go, man. Hey, and then for the ones that say, oh, Yahushua was homeless, he said the birds have nests, and yeah, but the Son of Man have not way to lay his head, which was talking about his ministry and how he was always on the move. Okay, and he didn't have a steady place to stay because he was always on the move. But he had a dwelling place, and this is it right here, Mark 2 and 2:15. And it came to pass that as Yahushua sat at meat in his house, many publican and sinners sat also together with Yahushua and his disciples, for there were many, and they followed him. So he had a gathering at his house. So he wasn't homeless. He was just talking about, the ministry and the fervency and how he was always on the move. So that's for anybody that says, oh, Yahushua was homeless. Man, come on, man. Gotta know the scriptures. This is the last one, 2 Corinthians 4 and 5. I'm tripping. 2 Corinthians 9 and 5. Therefore I thought it necessity to exhort the brethren that they will go before you unto you and make up beforehand your bounty, whereof ye had noticed before, that the same might be ready as a matter of bounty, not of countenance. But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap bountifully. Every man according to his purpose in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or necessity, for Yahweh Shem Yahushua love a cheerful giver. That you're right. So hey, if you're blessed to be able to give to the brotherhood, hey, the Lord loves that. The Lord wants men that's able to be able to provide for brothers or be able to give to brothers, man. But you got to have something to be able to give. Okay, and like I said, we go through our ups and downs, but for the most part, you need to be at least able to sustain yourself in this truth, man, and not have to, depend on other brothers, so to say, man. So that goes into saving, budgeting, being frugal. You have to spend your money on gregarious things, if that's a word, or things that just don't matter, man. All right. So yeah, hopefully I was edifying, giving all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah HaKodash, double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the Lord's elect. Shalom.